I'm excited to be here today to participate in and be part of this conversation, this discussion on innovation for the continuous and comprehensive evaluation. I think it's very important that we all work together to help prepare students with the essential skills needed for university and career readiness. So I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing at Texas Instruments to that effect. So first and foremost, we focus on supporting teachers to help students succeed. So we work with teachers, ministries of education, exam boards, publishers, and partners to deliver teaching, learning, and assessment solutions that really focus on helping students with difficult-to-learn and abstract concepts in mathematics and science. So we are a division of Texas Instruments which is 100% focused on teaching and learning of mathematics and science. And so because of our focus on education and mathematics and science, we are very much backed and supported by research. And so research for math and science goes into everything we do. It goes into the teacher training, it goes into the teaching tools that we create, the learning tools, and also our assessment solutions. And we've seen that as we aim to help students with deeper conceptual understanding of challenging concepts in math and science, we also need to look at how we assess students with that deeper conceptual understanding. Simply assessing rote learning or memorization doesn't work when you're assessing deeper conceptual understanding. And today I'll share with you just a very quick example of how that's happening in schools that are using our inspired learning solution. So speaking about inspired learning, the goal is really here to help teachers create more engaging and effective classrooms and to help students develop the higher order thinking skills. That's the analysis, the problem solving, the critical thinking skills. And that involves helping them with what have traditionally been more difficult or abstract concepts in math and science. So at the heart of inspired learning is TI Inspired technology. And this is an integrated platform that allows for multiple linked representations. So that's a big way of saying what's described in this slide here. So this slide shows different representations of the same problem. The problem in this example is a box volume optimization problem in mathematics. At the bottom right, you see a verbal representation of that problem. At the bottom left, you see a geometric representation of that problem. Top left is a graphical representation, symbolic, and then numeric. So what you see here is if a student is directly manipulating a variable in one of these representations, simultaneously they can see the impact on other representations. That allows for that deeper conceptual understanding of the concept that you're targeting. Now, this is wonderful in terms of deeper understanding, but how we assess student understanding here is very different from how we assessed understanding in the past. So just one slide on what this platform is. Basically, it's a complete and integrated set of applications that teachers or students could use to create interactive content in the center. On the slide here, it's called dynamically linked content. It could be an interactive activity. It could be a formative assessment. Teachers, students could create it, or they could obtain it from publishers already made. And then that content could be sent to the students' handhelds for a one-to-one, very active solution for students in the class. If the school is a laptop school, then you could send that activity to the laptops or the netbooks. And also those rich interactive activities are freely available for the students via the internet, via a document player that we have. So what this looks like on a handheld is this. This is that same box volume optimization problem on a handheld. And we do this because we really believe that the one-to-one experience is important. The students need to be actively engaged with the mathematics or with the science to be able to develop that deeper understanding that we're looking for. If the school is using a computer, just so that you can see, this is what it would look like. Now, what assessment looks like integrated in this type of activity looks like this. A teacher could choose to, one, assess the student knowledge before they start the activity. So a teacher can find out if the students in their class have the prerequisite knowledge needed to do this activity. And the teacher immediately could see the results of the students. So the teacher, when the students fill this out, the teacher immediately gets the results of the students and can make decisions before they even start the activity. So the idea here is to assess the understanding of a student when it has the greatest impact. And so you could also provide instructions built into the activity. And then very important here, we don't just ask very specific questions, but very general explorations could be set up at the very beginning. So you can have the kids explore this concept, explore the relationship between the height of the box and the volume of that box. For more advanced students, a teacher could have the students actually create the model and then the links between the two to explore that concept. Again, all of this can be done on the student's handheld. After you explore the model, we want the students to explain and reflect on what they just did. Again, incorporating that formative assessment into the activity itself so that the teacher can make adjustments and really have an impact when it's most important for the student. Teacher doesn't have to wait for the kids to go home and come back the next day to see they didn't understand something. We could have easily asked a multiple choice, true or false, fill in the blank type question, but you could also have the kids write about the mathematics that they're learning, write conjectures, and the teacher has all this information, could aggregate it, could grade it automatically, and also post it to the students' portfolios. After they explain and reflect on a problem, a teacher could choose to introduce some scaffolding, some hints to help the students along the way towards the solution. The teachers may choose choose to do this or choose not to do this. It's completely up to the teacher. And then, of course, putting it all together, giving the answer, continues to be very important. So here, a student gives the answer as a function. Again, it's volume. But then also you could see that the student's answer is not only presented symbolically, but also graphically. And the student, in entering their answer, could see the graphical representation of their answer at the same time. But this is not enough. We then also want the students to do some self-reflection. We want them to validate their answer. So they could then go and model the function that they input as a solution to this problem. Now, switching gears a little bit, again, we're looking for a deeper understanding of concepts in math and science. So that has an impact on the type of assessment that we do. On this particular example, you see students on the left side. A teacher could hide the students' names and make it completely anonymous and look at the students' responses symbolically or graphically, and or in any of the representations that you choose. And if you do enter the function symbolically, there is equivalence built into the system, so it could be many different variations of the right answer would be seen that way. But these types of representations allow for deeper level conversations. For example, here I have 3 students that entered functions that look similar, yet they're different. How are they similar? How are they different? What is going on with the student who entered a function that's completely different from the others? These are types of conversations you can have in the classroom. And again, all of these inputs could be graded or posted to the student's portfolio. So I talked about managing and tracking results. Teachers in our pilot here in India are associating points to the different problems. And then tracking this so the kids could see what their performance is, not only at the end of class, but during class. And the kids are very, very passionate and excited to see the results immediately. You don't have to wait a month. You don't have to wait a week. It's instant. Another way of continuous and comprehensive evaluation is monitoring student progress. So this is not true or false. This is not fill in the blanks. This is not writing about the mathematics. But this is about a teacher at any point in time being able to see what every student is doing in their classroom. So a teacher can see the screenshots of all their students live and see what the kids are doing. So this helps the teacher make some decisions on whether or not they need to change what they're doing, if there are any problems, to address them right there and not, again, wait till the end of class. And there's an opportunity to make the students present as well. Any one of these students, I could ask them to present and explain what they're doing to the entire class. The student doesn't need to leave their place. They could just stand up and talk. As a teacher, I've made their personal environment become a collaborative discussion for the whole class. And so I talked a little bit about mathematics. We're on a time schedule today, so I won't get too much into science. But again, we offer teaching, learning, and assessment solutions for math and science. So this is an example of our data collection solution. We want to put the ability to analyze and collect the real-world data into the hands of all students. So students simply take one of many probes and sensors and plug it into their handhelds, and they are collecting data. There's no buttons to push, there's no programming involved, there's no pre-work. You plug it in and you're collecting data. As a teacher, you need to organize what you want to do with that data. That data goes into the platform and could be used in a science context or in a math context. Now, in addition to data collection, we also have science tools. You're all familiar with the periodic table. It's a great resource. But not only is this a periodic table, but each of the elements' data is captured within the platform. So you could look at the ugly data. Science teachers love this. And then you can go and on the x-axis associate the weight, and then on the y-axis you can go and look at the radius and look for the relationship between the weight and the radius. It's slightly periodic, but if you change the y-axis and look at the number of protons, you have a linear relationship. The point here is it allows for very interesting conversations and a deeper level of understanding than you could once do by just asking the kids to recite facts about any specific element. This allows the kids to get a deep understanding of the element they're studying. And so on that note, I want to end by talking about it's very important that we simplify mathematics and science, that we make what was once only accessible by elite students accessible by all students. And that means making the difficult to learn abstract concepts in math and science accessible to all of those. At the same time, we want to help those students that are at the very top of their class continue to excel on their learning. Thank you very much.